For a moment in time, just one day, I want to sit inside your brain
Oh, good God.
because I would
No,
not look
you
at this
don't.
story and
No,
connect all of these dots
you would
to make
not
this
want
work.
when,
How
when people
dark
ask,
can we go?
yeah, when people ask, hey, what are you thinking? I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
I thought maybe we were gonna go Home Depot, ageism. Old people
Yeah,
can't
no, no,
climb
no.
the
We got plenty of
ladders.
stuff. No, dude,
There's plenty.
10,000 employee data is out there.
Yeah.
Netflix has a new, monstrous story to tell. In 1950s Wisconsin, Ed Gein lived quietly on a decaying farm, hiding a house of horrors so gruesome it would redefine the American nightmare. Driven by isolation, psychosis, and an all-consuming obsession with his mother, he committed crimes that would haunt Hollywood for decades. The third and most harrowing installment of Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan's anthology series. Watch Monster, the Ed Gein story, October 3rd, only on Netflix.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
Silence on set. What is going on, people? Ryan Leary here from Work Defined, and you are listening to the BARF. It is the 14th of April, and we have a whole lot of news to talk about this week. I am here with my favorite person in the world, my co-host, Mr. William Tinkup. What is going on today?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How was that intro for you? You like that?
That's great.
I've
Great.
been working
Let's
on
do
it.
more of that. That's awesome.
I can start over. What's going on, people? Now, so funny story. I started telling you about this.
Yeah.
I was reached out to host an environmental festival.
Okay.
I have
Things
no
that would
clue.
never happen to me. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I
Good.
don't know
Try
why.
again.
I don't know why. However, maybe I'll get chosen. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. There'll be fishing stuff there. It'll be on the water in Philadelphia. I'll have a good old time. So if you're in Philly sometime around May for an environmental festival, come on by.
I like all of
Shake
this.
my hand.
MC.
So, MC, baby, MC. So, anywho, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's do the breaking news.
Let's just jump into this thing. How about you kick us off?
Good. All right, let me pitch you the story. New SAP SuccessFactors app is now in the Microsoft Teams App Store. So these large companies have been doing business together for a long time. It's not new, but this part is new. So Teams, you would think is it's an HR. You could see it as an HR product, right?
Yeah.
And inside Teams now they'll be able to do performance management and the other things.
Monopolistic.
Yes.
Teams.
Well, Microsoft doesn't want to be in the HR tech-based business. They want to partner with all of the different people. And so when I first read it, it's like, okay, what I like about it is if you're a Microsoft shop, and there's a lot of Microsoft shops out there, then now you have access to do all the things that SuccessFactors does.
Yeah.
And we think of it as performance management, but it's much more than that. They have an ATS, they have this, they have that. So they have all kinds of cool stuff, and now it's on their app.
Yeah.
So I like it. I think it's great. I think it's a good partnership. It's a good way for Microsoft to get into the kind of the HR tech game without getting into the game. If you know what I mean.
And they're in the news for other things as well. So they, with their whole antitrust issues with 365 and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, I'm dying over here. I'm gonna put you on mute for a second.
As you should. Don't die. But I do like the partnership. I like the partnership in general, but I like this part of the partnership of putting SuccessFactors app inside of Teams app. Yeah. I like that.
Does that make for good live podcasting? Let me put you on mute.
100%. 100%. 100%.
I'm just
very professional here.
I keep it real, homie. So the whole antitrust suit with Microsoft. So they are unbundling Teams from 365, which is really
That's right.
interesting. It's almost as if, and so I was reading an article on this the other day, and it was really interesting because they said, it was almost as if they planned this, which I'm sure they did, right? Let's bundle, let's
Mm-hmm.
capture the market, right? Let's
Right.
do what we need to do.
The government's going to force us to unbundle.
And now we're
Okay.
going
Yeah.
to unbundle, but so many of the enterprises, right? Like most of the Fortune 100 is already tied to Microsoft
Oh, 100%.
at some level, right? With Teams,
Shocking, not
etc.
shocking.
Right. So now here, the power to the power behind that is that because they're unbundled, not as you get larger and further up the chain, like Fortune 100s,
Right.
they're not interested in 365.
Right.
They are interested in Teams. Teams is kind of
100%.
that platform, right? So now they can expand there and they don't need the power of 365, which they've used for the last number of years.
Well, and they've got so many different products. They're not worried. If you don't want to buy one of them, all right, so what? That doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the SuccessFactors news. What do you got?
SuccessFactors. All right, Textio, our friends over at Textio.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff happening over there. A lot of stuff happening. Unfortunately, this is about a layoff. So they had to cut 16. Actually, this was a little while ago. Actually, this is not super recent. We didn't talk about it,
Right.
but there's been a lot of cuts in the space. And this is one that kind of, for whatever reason, and I just want to talk about. We know the people there, we know the team, right? They've done fantastic things, but their layoff was a little bit ago. But 16% of its staff, right? So they're left with roughly 71 or so employees. That could have changed by now. The reason that they gave for this was that they were shifting their resources to support what they call Textio Lift, which is essentially is a product that they released last year to help managers with feedback and to remove their bias from their feedback while doing the reporting and leadership reports and things like that.
Yeah,
So
there's got to be more to this story because their founder, Kieran, stepped down, stepped away, whatever,
that's right.
all that stuff. I kind of think that and they had been studied. We did a podcast with them, and it's just I think they missed their moment when ChatGPT came out, and I think they missed their moment. Before that, I think Grammarly, I think Textio, what they were positioned around, there was a real uniqueness, and I think they had a moment to sell that uniqueness to somebody.
Yeah.
Now they're going to struggle, like the video interview platform struggled for years against Skype.
Right.
That basically people are like, yeah, okay, so I like it, but I can do that on Skype, and they struggle with that.
Can they pull out of this? Is really the question.
I must say no.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think they missed their moment. I mean, they've been again researching large language models. They're in it. They've been doing this
a long time.
Yeah. But they had a moment where they were truly unique and showing people the bias and showing people very specifically what they could do. And now I think other people are going to have those models, maybe not on the same data.
Right.
Maybe they won't be as good, but see that assumes that people can discern quality.
Right.
And therein lies the problem. Most people can't discern quality when it comes to stuff like this. So good becomes good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wish them luck, and let's see where they go.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, actually. So I came across this story, and I thought of you because you brought up Home Depot.
Yeah.
I think pretty much every show. So that's why I was.
They doing a 4-day work week? Is that what you're telling me?
I wish. No, I did a keyword search on Home Depot. I'm like, what the hell? What was going on with Home Depot this week? No. So data compromised through third-party SaaS misconfiguration. So this comes from Spiceworks.com. And so basically a SaaS vendor, they didn't name the vendor yet, or at least I could find. They think it impacted about 10,000 employees, so not a small group of people. They inadvertently exposed a subset of employee data. So then it got to me thinking after I was reading it, I'm like, who's responsible? So when you go through an implementation, right, you're doing configuration, you're doing all that type stuff. Is it the company? Is it Home Depot's fault? I mean, is it their fault, or is it, let's say, pick a vendor? We don't need to say names, but let's pick a vendor. Is it their fault? So that's what got me thinking down this thought, is like, okay, when this stuff goes sideways, whose fault? Which then got me to think, practitioners check the language in your contracts. So anything that's related to data breach or security or any of that type of stuff, it's probably already in there. There's probably some type of contingency that's already been written in there, but the problem has historically been is the contracts come from the software companies, which are going to protect the software companies,
Right.
not necessarily the practitioners. So, just as a word of advice, make sure that your legal team goes back through before something like this happens, not after the fact. But it is, again, data breaches happen. It's kind of a part of our modern life. But this one is the first one I've found misconfiguration of SaaS software.
For a moment in time, just one day, I want to sit inside your brain.
Oh, good God.
Because I would not look at this story and connect all of these dots.
You would
to
not
make this
want
work. How dark can we go?
Yeah. When people ask, hey, what are you thinking? I'm like, whoa.
I thought maybe we were going to go Home Depot, ageism, people can't climb the
we got plenty of stuff. No, dude,
plenty.
10,000 employee data is out there. Unsold on the dark web.
New hire, right? So new hire, Sensia. We love Sensia, right? We've talked to them a lot. They have beautiful booths at the events. Great people. They brought in new head of product. His name is Steve Goldsmith. He was from, you can help me with the name, Atlassian. I always get this wrong. I love this. I don't know Steve personally,
right.
But I do love his background, and I think it's exactly what a company like Sensia needs. He comes from just a world of workflow management, right? So Jira, for those that don't know, so companies like Jira, Confluence, Trello, right? So he comes from a background that fits so well into what Sensia does, from his ability to, I shouldn't say I don't know his ability, but what I would assume
he's got a track. I mean, not a track. He's got a pedigree.
He's got a pedigree, track record, pedigree, all the same there.
I like it. I like that he's not. He doesn't come from the usual suspects.
No, they're not coming from another HR tech company. I think every company needs a jolt at some point. And I think this could be it. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
I love it. I think it's a great story because, again, bringing in new talent, and again, talent with that type of pedigree, that's going to help Joanna or Joe if you know her. So I think it's good.
What I like about hires, not just with this particular hire, but hire, when we bring people, I say we, meaning the royal we in HR tech, from outside the industry. I love that because
me too.
We have a lot of innovation in this space. We really do, but it feels like it's lagging behind.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, it
so
is.
when we bring people from other industries, I think that provides that punch and that innovation that we need to move faster. And I'm hoping I see this here.
Oh, 100%. I think you're spot on. All right, let me pitch you this story. So, AI-driven future reskilling initiatives by tech giants. This I found on Axe Recruiting, so it's AXE recruiting.com.
The only thing I could think of.
So I asked this guy something, and then he asked somebody something. What else?
When you said that, the only thing that played in my head was the ho 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 green giant. That's a really bad impression. That's all I can think of just now. Now it's
and I'm thinking of axe versus ask. So yeah, we're tracking. So here's some of the players just named in the article: Indeed, Cisco, Accenture, IBM, Google, Eightfold, Intel, Microsoft, SAP. All right. So why I think this is really, really interesting is they're trying to provide as a group they're trying to provide recommendations to employers on the way to upskill workers so that they're prepared for how AI affects their roles. So I like this kind of these tech giants coming together and going, okay, we see. I mean, I've seen a figure as large as 300 million jobs will be impacted by AI.
Yeah. Impacted,
okay, so
not lost, impacted.
No, impacted. So again, what they're doing is they're basically saying, okay, we know that the skills of the future are going to need this, and then they're basically doing it together instead of learning in silos, which I like.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea because it hopefully maybe it lessens FOBO, that fear of being obsolete that we talked about.
Yeah. This is I'm curious to see where this goes. This is almost like the ultra wealthy, the ultra rich of the rich getting together and saying, I'm taking 75% of my fortune and donating it to charity, right? They're taking all of their power and they're saying, okay, we recognize. Now let's not misunderstand this here. They're going to benefit from this.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
No.
That said, if they don't do this, there are going to be millions and millions of people that are going to be left with, what do I do?
Left behind.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
and it's disproportionate.
Yes.
White collar jobs.
Yes, correct.
So it's not going to impact your master plumber.
My mama always said, be a plumber.
I'd probably
Turns out
be a
you were right, Mom.
I'd probably do a master electrician, but I know a guy down here that's a master electrician and a master plumber. Dude, when he comes to the house, he can just fix things.
Yeah.
Like
I want that superpower. If I had to pick a superpower, it would be to be able to fix shit.
Fix toilets.
Like, just anything. Like,
oh, yeah. No,
just
I know
fix
what you're talking
it.
about.
I don't want to YouTube it anymore. I want to be able to fix it.
Let me get a screwdriver. I can just take care of this real quick.
Yeah.
No, not me.
All right, I've got two here. One's going to be super fast because I've talked about it previously, the overtime rule.
Yep.
Okay, so for those that didn't listen, which I don't know who would not have listened.
I don't know.
To the previous episode. So we'll just start there. Okay, so the overtime rule, the threshold. So what I'm talking about here is in order to be eligible for overtime pay. Okay, the threshold was $35,568. Okay, which it's a non-living wage at this point. Right. So if you were over that amount of money, if you made more than 35,000, you just weren't eligible, right? Like you didn't have to be paid. Now, so the proposal was 55,000 and change. That was whatever a couple weeks back we spoke about this. Now that cleared into the White House. Okay.
Really?
So this has now been not published into law, but it has been accepted and cleared. So it's unclear when it would happen. The expectation is April. We're running out of time, so maybe a little later. But the addition to this is that every 3 years, it is reviewed. And so that number can continue to go higher. And so what that means, if you're making 45,000, then you weren't eligible for overtime. Once this publishes and clears, you will now be eligible for overtime. And obviously that affects money.
Right. The cost is going to get passed down. It's just like what we talked about last year with the in California, the minimum wage going up.
Yeah. Are you going to pay $30 for a hamburger?
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
It's not like they're going to take it out of the loss, or that it just gets passed on. So
no, fuel goes up, airline tickets go up. Same thing.
Right.
Same thing. I mean, yeah. Look, you go to a restaurant now, it's $18 for a hamburger.
Oh yeah.
That makes the hamburger not good to me. $6? I love the hamburger.
You see, that reminds me of that bit in Pulp Fiction where
never seen it.
John Travolta says it's $5 shake. He's like, $5 shake? That's crazy. Better be a really good fucking shake.
Yeah. I wish I could get a $5 shake now.
And then it comes and he tastes. He's like, that's a pretty good shake.
Pretty good shake.
That's what we're gonna do with $30 hamburgers. Is we're gonna go,
but
it's a pretty good hamburger. Fair enough. All right, that works.
yeah, but it's not that. All right, my second one here. So the real thing I want to talk about, the joint employer rule. So I wanted to talk about this a couple weeks back, and I think I mentioned it. This was when Subway was stealing tips and all
Right,
of that
right,
stuff, because it's kind of tied into that. So they killed it, right? So it went to the Senate. Last time it was just kind of wherever it was. It went through Senate. Senate said, they killed it,
No.
right? Not over yet, right? Not over yet. They're still gonna kind of work through it. But this is a protection for the worker. This is a worker protection clause. So I'll give you an example here. I'll kind of tie it back into work. Think staffing agencies.
Right.
Think subcontractors, temp agencies,
Right.
companies like this, right? Where I'm a staffing agency and I find you
Right.
in the market. I give you to someone else, right? And I'm paying. They're paying me. I'm paying you. They're paying me $50. I'm paying you $20.
Right.
Right. So it's this process. But what happens with benefits? What happens when you get hurt? What happens when I don't know, there's a wage issue, something like that? Who's responsible for that, right? Who's responsible for your employment rights? Is it
difference between a W-4 and a W-2?
Right. Well, and so that's the confusion. So
no, there's no confusion.
Well,
if you're a W-4, the thing is this will never. This comes
it'll
up
never.
every.
It's way over my head in terms of
until the
why and
French
how,
government takes over our government,
it's
it'll
not gonna
never happen because it extends employee benefits and rights that they don't want to give. No business wants to give, quite frankly, to contractors. So I mean, the risk. It's if you want to be an employee, that's a decision. If you want to be a contractor, that's a decision.
Yeah, and
sometimes that's your decision, and sometimes that's the company's decision. But
and there are rights for contractors now that are very different than they were a couple of years ago. This is like the gig worker issues, all this stuff, and this is all part of that. So anyhow, that's it.
All right, let me pitch this story to you. So you know NVIDIA.
You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find it.
You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you. Find your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
Basically, the makers of all kinds of AI stuff. Their stock's been going through the roof for the last 2 years. It's
Someone
insane,
once told me to buy it 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I said, "Yeah, sure," and I never bought it.
That's
which is why I'm
okay.
here with you. So it's all good.
I was about to say you've got some crypto, so you're good.
The benefit of me not buying it is I'm sitting here with you.
See, there you go. I think that's a good way of looking at things. All the failures in your life, wherever you went left, and
there was a time. I'll let you get to your story, and I posted a photo. You were sitting here. I was sitting here on a plane.
Yes.
I took the photo. I said, you've made it when William Tincup is sitting next to you on a plane. It was kind of a creeper photo, but look, it works.
I have one of you falling asleep at one of our events. So
that happens a lot. If you don't,
that was actually really funny.
If we don't get through this, I'm gonna fall asleep now.
I posted on Instagram. It's so great. Like your head's like down.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Ryan's really he's into this training.
We're gonna have to find that photo. That was pretty funny.
It's on my Instagram. I didn't delete it. So NVIDIA employees. So the story goes. This has been BusinessInsider.com. So check it out. NVIDIA employees are getting richer with a special Jensen grant that boosts their stock awards by 25%. So basically, Jensen is their CEO, founder, etc. They have a market cap of $1 trillion.
Ooh.
Let that sink in.
With
with a T.
We talking trillion.
Trillion, yeah. So pocket change. So the thing is as I read the article, I like articles like this where you can see that the CEO founder is trying to do the right thing. Like basically looks around and says, no one thought that the stock was going to shoot up like it is and splitting and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what? Let's go back to our stock options plan and let's do some right things and right size it, etc.
Right.
And so I love stuff like this because they don't get enough news. Those stories don't get enough news in our world. But then I thought about, if you want to retain employees, because that talent is probably, I'm just guessing, but I would imagine there's a bunch of firms that want to recruit that talent.
Yeah.
Right?
I would think so.
This is a great way to retain your talent. Make them shareholders. Give them just more stock so they're more vested in what you're doing, and it's going to be harder for the other big companies out there that are trying to do some of the same things. So I love it.
Yeah,
Great story.
we have way different category and money and all that. We have a couple grocery stores in this area. We one specific I'm thinking of called Redner's, where it's employee owned.
Yep.
Right. And so I've always wondered, like, so how does that work? Like, I come in, I get a job, I get a little bit of the I don't know that keeps me there. Not at a supermarket. But I know we're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars different with these people.
Yeah. I think, again, depending on your position at the supermarket, I think if you're bagging groceries at the supermarket, you're probably not thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's probably not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But if you're a manager, you're probably,
sure.
It probably helps you.
Yeah. All right. So portable benefits for gig workers. Curious to get your thought on this here. So first, let me define portable benefits for those that are listening that may not know, and then I want to get your thought on this. So portable benefits for gig workers essentially refer to benefits that are not tied to a specific job or the employer. Rather, it's tied to the employee or the gig worker in this case. A lot of ways for this to be funded, right? But I'm curious to get your thoughts on having a subset of benefits, a portable benefits program for gig workers that choose to be gig workers as opposed to a full-time role at an organization.
What's different from that in ACA or what people sometimes refer to as Obamacare?
I don't think there is a difference. Yeah.
Right. So you can get benefits. If you want to get benefits, you can get benefits.
Yeah.
So the portability, I think, when ACA first came to market, it scared everyone because companies would use that to keep their employees. Right. So this was just a way of being able to keep their employees. And if you had really good health insurance, it would be something that can't walk away from this because we have such great insurance.
Yeah.
But with ACA / Obamacare, you can go on and get insurance.
Yeah,
so,
and it's regular insurance. Like, we're not talking like it's some nickel and diamond. Like, these are regular Independence Blue Cross and all the others. Yeah, it's regular insurance.
If you want insurance, you can get insurance. If you can pay for insurance, you can get insurance, etc. So I don't really think that there's a there unless the platforms start contributing. Now, I could see a play where the platforms that we know and love, that then say, hey, we'll contribute 25% to your benefits. So they don't, it's portable. You still buy it, etc. It's just they either reimburse you or the financial mechanism they'd have to work on, but that keeps you on the platform.
Right. And you can go from platform to platform. It just transfers with you.
Yeah, that would be harder. I think they would only do it. If I were a platform, I would only do it if they stayed on my platform. I wouldn't want them to be able to go from two of these different platforms from one to the other and back and forth.
Yeah.
Like from Fiverr to what is it? BetterUp? Not BetterUp. WeWork? Yeah, Upwork. So from Upwork to different work. So from WeWork to Fiverr. If I were Fiverr, I would say, hey, listen, if you spend 90% of your time with Fiverr and you're not an employee, you're still a subcontractor, so you can do whatever you want, but we'll contribute.
Yeah, it's interesting, and
it keeps that talent there.
Yeah, and
So
it's so hard. I don't know how they would do that. And again, this is why people get paid a lot more than me and much smarter.
100%.
But if you can't generate the work on that platform, how do you stay? Right. So there would be so much transient traffic of
Sorry.
employees and gig work. Like, I don't know
That's
how
probably
that
why
would
it hadn't.
happen.
That's probably why it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, yeah. But I love the idea, and yes, there are marketplaces currently to get
Right.
that, and they're very affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, very affordable.
All right, let me pitch you a story. Now we are, for the audience, we are on to the A's, the acquisitions. So I found this on PR Newswire. So this is Multiverse acquires AI talent software company Searchlight to help businesses close skills gaps. So basically what this is going to do is help Multiverse with both the skill gap analysis and AI. Because Searchlight was really good at both. Really good at understanding kind of what's missing in the story. And what I love about this particular acquisition is that both founders they're twins, they're sisters. Came out of Stanford,
I didn't know that.
went through I can't remember what accelerator they went through. Anyhow, they went through an accelerator, then they came up with Searchlight. And they've been doing it for a couple of years. They're really smart, really nice. Love seeing that. But I love seeing the founders, like one of them's going to be head of product and one of them's going to be head of AI. Like they're taking senior positions.
Right.
So I think it's good, and I wish them well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this one. Okay, Cadian, our friends at Cadian, TA provider, obviously. Hourly hiring is where they play. They've been acquired by a PE firm, Vectors Capital. So I know you have thoughts on private equity firms getting involved. They can be good or bad. They can be your best friends, or they could really just put you in the shitter. So curious to get your thoughts here.
Yeah, last time I haven't talked to Katie in a couple of years, but it's a really cool play. I mean, it's built. It came up through hourly and high volume.
Yeah.
So like, it's built for that. They've been doing it for years. PEs, I've seen great success stories with PEs, and I've seen them destroy companies, quite frankly, like with their ideas and with their kind of arrogance, if you will. I've seen both sides, but I've seen like with when Vista came into Bullhorn, and they did wonderful work.
Right.
And Vista kind of sometimes gets a bad rap because they have a playbook that they play by. And when they acquire,
there's a reason why they're successful.
There's a reason, it's not left to chance. And they threw out the playbook. Right. And I thought it was just genius because the way they worked with Bullhorn and Art and the rest of the team is they really went like startup funding. And I mean, this is hundreds of millions of dollars, so it wasn't startup funding.
It's not a startup, right?
No, but the way they worked with them was really entrepreneurial, and I love that. So it's now the thing is Katie, to my knowledge, they've never really had a lot of money. Like they like $150 million rounds.
Yeah. They weren't bootstrapping, but they weren't.
Right. Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the money. That's my take on this. Is like, okay, when you first get this thing, what is it? Are you redoing the product? Are you going to tear it down and build it back up? Are you going to spend it in international expansion?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they want to be a partner of ours. That's what it is.
100%.
I kid.
100%.
Wink, wink. I forgot the ching ching the last couple.
Oh,
so I'm
going to
add them in now. There we go. We got $3 signs.
All right. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Is another acquisition. Intrust enters into discussions to acquire, which they will. They don't announce stuff like this until they know that they're going to do it. So acquire a identity verification on FIDO. That's probably pronounced incorrectly. It's ONFIDO. So you can find this on Intrust. They're on both. The press release is on both sides. So it's on FIDO's site, it's on Intrust's site. I found it on Intrust's site. And basically, when you read the press release, it's talking about identity verification.
Yeah.
And with the advent of AI, not the advent, but with the popularization or modernization of AI and Gen AI, identity verification becomes more important. Me knowing who you are, that you are actually a real human being, it becomes heightened. Like before, it was like, there was a little bit of fraud, and we would like to stamp that out, but not really that big a deal. Now, I think this is going to be one of those deals where this category is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
And so it gets me to a phrase I've said before: trust no one, and no one and nothing until you can verify it.
Yeah, I want to see where this where
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
Where verification goes. I don't know what the solution is, but I know there's a better way to verify this stuff in a way that is just truthful, right? A source of truth. And it's like there's so many plays out there now that I don't know that they're not modernized.
Right.
They're just more of the same. And I think one of these guys has to step up.
It's the difference between revolution and evolution, right? So they're evolutionary, so they're making another step, but it's not like really changing it. And blockchain had the promise,
right? It hasn't
of basically you had to be you on the chain. Yeah. And if you weren't you couldn't play the game.
Right.
And we might get back to something like that for it to work. But you're right. I think this whole category of verification fascinating, and I think it just gets hotter.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, this is not funding, but it is a release of a feature of an old friend of Seek, an old friend of ours, Seek Out, conversational search, and so not really doesn't fit in the funding, but I just wanted to talk about these guys. I love Seek Out. We love everything they do. We're a noob team and since the beginning, but. So they've got what's called Seek Out Assist, right? This is their Gen AI play, and this is a conversational search. What I love about this is a commitment, in my eyes anyway. This is a commitment to actual recruiting, to the top of the funnel, tapping into the brain of the recruiter, right? Forget the Boolean searching, right? Forget, Boolean master, dead, right? Whatever. Forget that. This is leveraging your brain, the recruiter's brain, and the smarts of the recruiter to prompt the system to say, here's what I need.
Yeah. Not this.
Right. Yeah. And Seagal, who's done phenomenal with this for years now, is now at a point where they have just a tremendous amount of data that they sit on, that they can do this for the recruiter. Now, I haven't used it in real time, so I can't vouch for it there. Yeah. But those that have, and what I'm seeing and talking to people, it's actually the real deal, and they're doing a great thing. So this is my world. I love top of funnel recruiting. I love the marketing piece of it. I love everything about this. So I'm really, really interested to see where this goes.
I think it helps everybody. Their customers, more importantly. Again, we've talked about how you get low-value tasks out and you get some of the more high-value stuff. This does that. This is one of those things that basically a sourcer or a recruiter can then just talk or type or however you would do it. And then refine results, calibrate, recalibrate, and then it gets you to a place where you're happy.
Yeah, now I don't want to overplay it like this is the first time this has ever been done.
No.
Not
that's
saying
not the bit. That's not the bit.
They have a massive amount of customers.
They do.
They've
done a wonderful job.
And they've committed to Seek Out, right? And they didn't have so now this is going to be a good play for these people, and I think it's going to advance what they're doing, and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
they'll be able to take this and do more in their recruiting process. So kudos to the team at Seek Out. Congrats.
I love it. Okay, Ryan, have you ever been pitching a story to you? Have you ever been stumped by an acronym in HR?
You
Has
know,
there been something where you're like, what the hell is that?
there's a million of them in HR. There's also one on Instagram that's like 30 letters long. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it,
Oh yeah, I know.
but the moment I saw it, I knew exactly what it was, and I didn't even have to read it. I'll post it somewhere. We'll post it on the Instagram page. So go find our Instagram page because I'm going to post it there. But go ahead. Acronyms. Yes,
So,
I get confused all the time.
so PEO, what's PEO?
PEO. I don't know.
Okay, so basically, your A to Z guide of HR acronyms and abbreviations.
Yep.
So this is AIHR.com. We've used their site before. We like them. And basically, they've built and will continue to refine a glossary of terms. And so it's cool. It's searchable. It's built by letters, like the whole build. It's very easy to use. So in case you run up against a term and you're like reading and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Because there is, the deeper you get into comp, the more lingo-ish it becomes. The deeper you get into learning, the more lingo-ish it gets, right?
Yeah.
So like most people, we know what an ATS is. But like most people outside of like our little industry, they don't know what the hell an ATS is.
ATS, PEO. Did you really want me to answer PEO, by the way? For those that are listening, they're like, how does this dude not know?
Did you just go search
PEO?
it?
No. Google. No.
So basically, the bit is, and again, we're kind of in the research category, kind of giving you some tools to use and hopefully make your life a little bit better. You can Google it clearly, or you could just have this as bookmarked and then look at it. And then what I like about it is, I went through A to Z, and what I like about it, well, I knew.
Again, I want to be in your mind just one day. Just one day.
I knew most of them. I didn't know all of them. So like it would trip me up when I would hit something and go, oh, I hadn't heard of that. What the hell is that? And then I'd read the description and go, oh, well, I should have known that. So anyhow, it's a great resource. I hope you use it. Okay. And Godspeed.
Yeah, Godspeed, little minnow. So, age. You see, you hang out with you too much, and you just,
I know. That's what happens.
Just like, yeah.
Just happens. So, it's like moss. It just grows on you.
Ageism. All right. We talked about it. We had a show this week.
We did. We had a really good show on ageism.
We did. I actually really enjoyed that show.
I tried to convert you and the guest on being pro ageism. You remember?
I can't remember. My mind is so old. I was trying to sell it. Remember. It was like 2 days ago. Of course, I fucking remember.
I was trying to sell it. I was like, both of y'all are like, "Oh, this is making me feel dirty."
I was waiting. I didn't want to be the first one to answer, and I was just like, This is the awkward silence of who's gonna talk first. I'm like.
Guess eyes get like this big because they came on to talk about how bad ageism is, and I'm like,
God.
Let me run this idea past you.
Ageism can help. Here's how.
Ageism is a good idea.
I mean, look, I don't want this 75-year-old man to climb the ladder at Home Depot and get hurt. I'm looking out for his safety. It's his workplace safety.
See?
All right, so this is pretty cool. This is something I found on I was like HC Mag or some crap like that. Actually, it was HC Mag, yeah. So hiring managers confess they have certain biases against recruiting Gen Z and senior candidates.
So it's on both sides.
It's on both sides, right?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So here's a couple. I have 3 bullet points here. I'm not going to read the whole thing because they're kind of long, but. Resume Builder, a survey from Resume Builder, 36% of, this is a small sample, 360 hiring managers. in the U.S. admit they have age bias against Gen Z candidates or those aged between 18 and 27 years old. Okay. Another 34% of 343, I don't know why it's different, but 34% of the hiring managers
So it's
also
both
said,
sides. Huh.
yeah, they concerns about hiring candidates over the age of 60.
It's
Okay.
a bell curve.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
basically a third, a third, a third.
Yeah. So now
Hmm.
check this out. So bias. This is anonymous, obviously. Biases. Is that how you say it?
Hey, yeah, it's plural of dice.
You guys get it. Bias. You get it.
Dices.
The dices. You know,
Sorry.
if we just did the
It's a
news,
plural of
this would be
mice.
like a 5-minute show.
No, seriously. What's the plural of mice?
Mices. No.
See?
What's PEO?
Yeah.
PO. All right. Bias against job candidates. I said that wrong. Against job candidates also extended to their appearance, which hiring managers saying that
Interesting.
they are deterred from considering candidates. And I didn't copy the rest of the sentence. That's awful. I need to go
No.
find the rest of that sentence. Do you know the rest of the sentence? Because I didn't copy the whole
Here's
sentence.
the best part of that. And it's related to ageism. You just trailed off. You just like got to the story and went, what's going to happen when the dogs catch up to the jump, 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 jump.
I could not have planned that any better.
No, well, the thing is again, as we
Take
talked
over.
about during our show, professional employer organization. That's what PEO stands for.
Yes,
So,
I know.
just want to make sure the audience understands. Are they ever going to say what the hell the PEO is for?
It's
Don't
PO.
scratch. Yeah, it's PEO. So, yeah, I think the thing with ageism is it's always existed.
It's never going to go away.
It's never going to go away.
No.
It's we are talking about it now because it's important to us now. But you know what? Ageism, we go back to 1840. And you tell me that there wasn't ageism. Now, the ages were different because people didn't live as long and people worked earlier in life. But you tell me that people didn't have bias then? Come on. There's always been a bias on both sides for different reasons. And it's like waves on a beach.
Yeah.
Ageism is there.
So,
it's just going to be there.
Without getting us canceled, let's talk about ageism.
Okay.
Is it bad
No.
to consider, use the Home Depot example that I was joking around with.
Safety. Yep.
Safety, right. Is it now, Home Depot hires a lot of older people.
Yep.
They're retired plumbers, they're retired electrician. Right. They're super intelligent and smart and great at what they've done, and they can answer the questions. But should a 70-year-old man or woman...
It should be throwing around sacks of concrete.
And climbing a ladder that's 4 tiers high.
Agreed.
Now, not saying there are... Most 7-year-olds are probably in better shape than me. Understood.
Sure. 100% Understood. For me. Yes.
But is it the physical ability as a manager? Am I looking and say, look, physically, I don't think you should be doing this? Or is it an age thing? Like, I understand the
I think you have to make yourself, whatever age you are, and if you want to add value to a company, you have to make yourself valuable.
Right.
So it's the onus is on you, the individual, the employee, to make yourself valuable. Right. If you can't throw concrete, okay, there's other things that you can do to add value. Right. So as long as you're adding value, then there's no problem. Right. It's the problem becomes where either you feel like you're owed something, some type of entitlement, or you can't throw concrete and you don't want to add value somewhere else. Right. All right. Well, we have a problem. Right. Because now the company has to pick up the slack. They have to go hire someone else, or that thing doesn't get done.
Then we get back into accommodations. Right. Did the employer make reasonable accommodations for somebody who is unable to
I
a
am
sack of
absolutely
concrete.
for. I am absolutely for accommodations.
Oh, 100%.
Pro
100%.
accommodations.
Right.
The thing is accommodations help you thrive.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
not what we're
absolutely.
talking. That's not what we're
Right.
talking about here. We're talking about risk and risk mitigation. So if
Correct.
you're helping someone thrive in it, and then basically say, hey, I've got dyslexia, so I'm going to have a hard time with signage.
Right.
Just kind of if you want to put me on in the retail sense, if you want me to go do signage and change out all the price points and stuff like that,
I may have a problem
I'm
with
probably
that.
going to struggle. Now, again, that's different than to say, oh, well, hey, you know what? You've got these other skills. Why don't you do these things?
Sure.
So, like, an accommodation isn't that's not what we're talking
no.
about. Accommodations
100%.
are
100%. But I think
wonderful.
in certain circumstances it crosses over.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that people will misclassify
Correct.
that. Oh, someone will say, hey, you know what? I can't stand on my feet for 8 hours.
Right.
Because I'm just using myself as an example. I've got a bunch of titanium through my body, and I just can't stand that long.
I would
can
think
stand.
that makes you stand longer, like you're titanium.
No,
Man.
no,
Like
no.
you're like a
Unfortunately,
superhero at this point.
no. Unfortunately,
Literally.
it's not that way. It's But the thing is like, okay, if I know that, cool. What I can do, you can do. What's your max? Like before
Right.
it starts to hurt. 2 hours, great. Well, listen, we're gonna do 2 hours, and we're gonna do a longer shift, but you're gonna take 2 hours and take 30-minute breaks.
Right.
Done. That way, it's reasonably accommodated.
Right.
Like we can take care of that. Like we don't need you to be in pain. We don't want you to be in pain because if you're in pain, you're not doing customers any good.
Right.
You're not doing the business any good. Like,
right.
The business should always do what's in the best interest of the business.
It's a business,
and they usually do.
Yeah, and they should. Yeah.
And let me pitch you this story: U.S. engagement hits 11-year low.
Engagement
from
in
Gallup. Employee engagement.
Okay. I didn't know people were getting engaged.
I think that's a fair statement. We need to look that up. So
Birth
this is from Gallup. Gallup.com. So you can go and take a look at that. They do all kinds of cool studies. But 4.8 million fewer U.S. employees were engaged in early Q1 2024.
See that sentence right there. I'm going to take you off topic here.
Uh-huh.
You just said 4.8 million fewer U.S. employees were engaged in early 2024.
Mm-hmm. That could be a couple things. Yeah. Yes. No, they're talking about employee engagement. But yeah, that's fair. It is a fair statement. I think the thing for me as I read the article is why is this? Why are there less people engaged? Like what's underpinning, right? What's driving this? Why are people less engaged? And I came to the conclusion of two things. One is, has the definition of engagement changed? Unbeknownst to us, what we think of as engagement is it a dated concept?
That's
like I used to think engagement equals discretionary effort. And discretionary effort meaning you get the email at 5 o'clock on a Friday and it's about a 2-hour task. Do you do it then? Do you do it over the weekend? Do you wait till Monday? And that's at the discretion of the employee. Always has been, always will be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when someone has been engaged, they just do the work, get it done. Well, I'm not going to push that off. I'm going to get that done, take care of customers, whatever the bid is. I'm going to get that job done. And so it's that discretionary effort. I could do this. I don't have to do this. That's how people have looked at engagement in the past. But how do you look at discretionary effort in a remote or a hybrid or a highly flexible work environment? And so I think what it got me to really think about is like, there's been a redefining of what engagement is. So the number's down. It's 11-year low. 100%. And it's down. But is it down? Or is it because people have rethought their lives and they have a different way of consuming and thinking about the construct of engagement, both employer and employee? So it's a cool study. Take a look at it, come to your own conclusions, of course. But I believe in my heart of hearts, I think that we're saying engagement, employee engagement, and it's meaning something different to both parties, both. So Anyhow, go look at the study.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting because I have my definition,
What do you got?
which is probably the same as yours, and and how engaged. Well, I shouldn't use the word, but how loyal or how motivated
Right.
into the company I am, and how motivated I am to meet the goals of the company.
Right.
And to do the work required, and how I work with my colleagues, and how I interact with customers, and how excited I am to be there. There's a lot that can go into that. It could also mean a lot of other things too.
Right.
So this is interesting because it's kind of like we recently had a conversation with James Ellis on
brand. Employer brand.
Yeah, employer brand. And we had a definition, and he said no. He said no, you're wrong. He added a few other words in there. He got wrinkles on his head.
I'm not saying you're stupid. However,
I'm not saying you're stupid, but you're fucking stupid. Yeah, and he just said no. Employer brand, just, and I'm going to misquote him here, but I'll get close. Is just being clear on what you want.
That's right.
So is engagement just being clear on what you want, right? Like a portion of that, like, yeah, it can mean a lot of different things, but I think to measure it, yes, you're right. You need to, the company needs to have a definition and agree on what that is.
Yeah, because when you read that study, it's like, this is scary. Oh, okay. Well, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it that people are rethinking it, and maybe the definition has changed, or people are thinking about it differently?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think it's okay that it changed. At times have changed. This is
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's
All right, what you got?
I'm with you. All right. So I found this audit study, which I just thought was beautiful. It's an old study. It was done in 2021. The results were released in 2021, but now they've re-released with naming the company. So in 2021, the results of this study were released, sans the name of the companies that they've measured. Now is being re-released, and it are actually releasing the names of the companies. Some of this is outdated. Process and stuff could have changed, but this was just released. So what happened here was researchers sent 80,000 fake resumes and applied to U.S. jobs across a whole bunch of companies across the country. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's we'll just have, there's way too much to talk about here. We can have 2 shows on this. But I want to give you, there's a couple of things they measured here. So I want to share that, and then we'll kind of go back and forth on this. But the largest racial gap, there were 2 companies that were named, AutoNation and GPC. I don't know what GPC is. The smallest racial gap. Okay, these are companies that had almost 0 racial gap found in their recruiting process, which is how they've accepted the resume, the job description, the response on the resume, how they responded, when they responded, all of that stuff. Avis Budget, the rental company, Charter, Dr. Pepper, FedEx, Hilton, Kohl's, Kroger, Lowe's, McLean, Mondelez, Ryder, and Cisco.
Right.
Were found to have the smallest gap, most of them with a 0 on the score.
So basically, if I understand this, they submitted the 80,000, and they're all obviously different people, etc. Mm-hmm. Those that move forward in the process is highlighting less of a gap. Those that got dinged, and so it shows a larger gap. Is that basically your take?
Somewhat. So the resumes were standard, right? They had two different resumes. They had a couple of variations of them, but they were all the same when they sent them. Different names.
Okay.
Different names. So some were clearly historically white names, right? Some were clearly historically African American names. Some were,
Before you go any further, did they change anything other than the name?
They did. They also changed certain things like
automatically stop talking.
I'm stopped.
Stop. So here's the thing: if they change the name, they change the school. Now what you have is multivariable analysis. So somebody could have dinged that because of the name, or they could have dinged it because of the school.
No. So so those major headings, right, from my
Right.
understanding, remain the same. What they changed were clubs, for example, like sororities. It
Right.
may have been a historically black
Yeah,
sorority
HBCU.
as
Yep,
opposed
got
to
it.
a Jewish fraternity, right? So they
But
changed.
was it multiple things on one resume? Is my point.
Meaning what? Like the name
So
and
let's say my name is the same, but you've changed 2 or 3 different variables on my resume.
yeah. So like they change again from what I've read, they
Right.
changed the like clubs and sororities, fraternities, or
So they made a white resume
they
and
made a
they made
white
a
resume,
black
they made a black
resume.
resume, they made an Asian. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And what they found was
Huh.
that there's a lot of different gaps here, of course. So too much to list here, but it is really, really interesting. And those were the companies that came out good
GPC is
versus
Genuine
bad.
Auto Parts Company. It's
It's
what
a
you would
parts
know
company,
as
yeah.
it's Napa Auto
Napa.
Parts.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Funny,
That's their
both
stock.
of them are in
That's
the
that's their stock symbol. That's why. That's the only
got it.
reason I know.
Both of them are in auto. So the
Yeah. Shocking.
yeah, so on average, so one thing
Hmm.
I can say that companies did not treat the male and female applicants differently
Hmm.
versus male versus female
That's interesting.
until they hit different things like race, right?
Mm-hmm.
No penalties were found for
Interesting.
using non-binary pronouns,
Right.
for being gay, as
Yeah.
indicated right by the LGBTQ
Right.
on the resume. But it did result in a slightly higher penalty for white applicants if you associated in a club or had LGBTQ on the resume, but
Oh, that's
benefited
crazy.
black applicants.
Huh.
Small. They said it was
Yeah.
small,
Yeah. But
but there
still,
was a
if there's
clear
something there,
delineation.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to see. I want to see this now with
Yeah,
Gen
I want to
AI
see the whole thing. Yeah.
with millions. I want to see
Hmm.
it with a large data set
Yeah.
because it would really give us some insight into the state of where we are right now in hiring.
Yeah.
Like we
And again,
think
this is
we've
2 years old.
progressed. 3, but
You're right,
it's
3. Math.
for the non-math
Clearly, I don't
majors.
know acronyms or math.
Alrighty, well, no worries.
I isosceles triangles. What I know.
Hey man,
All
I
right.
learned all about thermal heat last night with my
Next
son. It's
topic.
like
Do something
great.
different.
All right, this is the last of the R. We're about to get into the F. So this is an interesting study. So basically the title of it is an examination on whether and how. So there's 2 things. Leader humility enhances leader personnel success, their career success. So it's basically looking at 2 things. So now you are dealing with multiple variables. You're looking at whether it happened and how. So they studied basically humility. And so you read the conclusion. This is online library at wiley.com. You just go to wiley.com and search for it. Humility. So basically, I didn't read the whole report because it was a bit long, but the conclusion was this: humility creates informality. Informality creates protege and mentor relationships where people can feel like they can actually talk with one another. That gives the appearance of promotability. So, like, think about it in your own life when you've been mentored or mentored others. And if you're humble at points with people, like, yeah, it was a mistake I made. When you're humble and you're not arrogant, you're not, taking credit for other people's work and stuff. So there's a humility, a humbleness, if you will, to you. Then what the study is saying is that humbleness actually comes out in a form of other people view you as a better leader.
True. Yeah.
And then your promotability goes up. And so, if you've ever wanted to study and data around why it's good to be humble, they've created it for you.
This
So
could
go
be
check that out.
yeah, this is it's interesting to me. I've always kind of secretly wanted to research or study this. So
Hmm.
maybe I'll take a read. I'm thinking examples in my mind. I'm thinking of sports. The head coach. I've got to do better. I've got to put my players in a better place. Or the
Right.
quarterback saying, "Yeah, you know what? I didn't have my best game." They dropped 7 passes. You you were
You
pretty
hit him in
damn
the
good.
numbers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right
yeah,
here. He hit
yeah,
him right here.
yeah. And even though I listen to that, and I think, Andy Reid, you're full of shit. You in your mind, because the moment you get off that stage and you go into that office,
You're about to
you
light someone up.
yeah, you're gonna light somebody up. And so I think to myself, like, okay, I get it. That's the game. They have to do that.
They don't
But
have to do that.
they don't have to, but
They
they
don't have to
do,
do
right?
that.
And then they're lauded on sports talk radio as
Oh
being,
yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
so accountable, he's this, he's that. And I'm thinking, he's full of shit. Like, I see through that, right? Like, I don't
Well, he's playing the
believe
game.
that. He's
I mean,
right.
they're playing the game because
Yeah.
we see it in all sports.
Yeah, and now it's different than in a corporate environment.
Yeah, but think of like some of the people that you've worked for.
Yeah.
Like Rudy at Connexa. I never worked for Rudy. I advised on some deals, and I knew him well enough to say his name and for him to know me. But he always seemed humble to me. He always seemed approachable, at least. Like I felt
Yes.
like I could talk to the guy about
Very
stuff.
approachable. Very approachable.
And now that might have been a game.
There was a
Or
time. I got to tell this Rudy story. I know we're way over time, but I got to tell this story. Sales client. We're in the home office here in Plymouth, or King of Prussia. Dell was the client, right? Potential client. They come in. It's for an RPO deal, right? Everyone's in the office. I'm up here. I'm doing my bit, right? I'm talking. I'm acting like big wig, and I'm doing my thing.
yeah.
He walks in the room, barges in, and just starts talking. Right? It was almost like it was scripted. It's like, hey guys, I'm blah, 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 blah. He's
Oh
doing
my
this thing.
goodness.
Now he's lovable, right? Like you hear him talk, and people fall in love with him. He introduced himself to me in front of the client, and I'm up there selling. Now I know him, right? I don't know how this fits into the story.
Ryan, my name is Rudy. We might not know each other.
It was it was kind of the most awkward yet fun things that has ever happened to me. But he is one of those leaders. Yes, there's a couple more that I've worked with in the past that are that have done exactly what you're talking about, but they've done it in a way that wasn't like Andy Reid or another sports coach, right? Like
your hate for Andy Reid is pick a different coach. But
look, you can't take us to 7 or whatever the hell it was NFC championships.
3 in a row, 3 national,
and then go to Kansas City and just win 7 fucking Super Bowl. He can't. No. So yes, I have a hate. I want to see him do well.
Yeah,
he's done well. All right, stop doing well. Move on.
Yeah.
So they've done it in different ways, but there is a very specific formula, I think, to that.
Yeah,
feeling.
I think you have to back the humility up. So I think that again, getting back to the kind of where we've talked about authenticity and being genuine I think if you're that person on stage in front of the cameras and you're a different person behind that, then you're not really humble.
Right.
You're just playing the game.
Right.
But if you're the same person on stage and then you go off stage and you meet with those players and say, hey, listen, I told the news. This is the bit, and we got some things to work on, and let's do that.
Yeah.
Like if you're that coach, then you're truly humble, and it kind of comes out. And I think the people that are fraudulent, that comes out as well.
Right. Right.
So, all right, well, let's go through the F's.
Let's
now,
get some money.
we're gonna go through these quick because first of all, there's a bunch of them, and so we
we
just
can
don't
just
a lot
run
of time.
through 'em.
So Sprinto, it helps businesses build trust through its compliance and risk platform. This is finance@yahoo.com. So basically, they just raised $20 million. And what I love about this play is it's not looking at compliance in silos. So it's looking at compliance in every facet of the business,
across the
which I
enterprise
think across the enterprise, and with AI, they're looking at it in real time. So they're looking at upgrading your compliance, but they're looking at every form of compliance, not just employees, not just this, that, or the other, but they've broken all the silos.
Right.
And so I think it's a great play. So there you go. $20 million. Good for them. Take a look at them. It's Sprinto.
I used to hate compliance talk, man. Benefits, compliance, all it was the boringest thing in the world to me.
Sexy, I'm telling you.
The last couple of years, I'm starting to fall in love with it. So
coming around.
Steps Connect closed a whopping $1 million, right? So not massive, right? It's a startup founded in 22, so this is kind of their time, right?
It's actually pretty good. That's pretty good for 2 years into the biz.
Yeah. So their goal is to help Gen Z millennial, or to help find Gen Z and millennial talent. I don't know much about this company. I'm sure they're going to do well. They're going to use it to build out their job description builders, their matching and AI and all that stuff, and their social push. But as I say that, it feels like and sounds like, I know I sound negative here, it sounds like more of the same. Like, how many companies do we need to build better job descriptions and matching AI and social pushes and all of that?
You want the good news or bad news?
Am I talking about the wrong thing? What?
No, just you want the good news or bad news?
I don't know what. Tell me.
You gotta pick one.
Give me the good news. Let's go positive.
There's no good news. So we talked about this last week.
I knew we talked about this last week. I didn't know if you were going to catch it.
Second week in a row.
I didn't know if you were going to actually let me talk about it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to talk about it and see if he catches it. All right.
Oh my God.
You're going to have a heart attack and you're going to die at the age of 55 because I make you laugh too much.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
As you were starting to go through the bit, I'm like,
I thought you would have seen it earlier when I dropped it in there.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this. And then a quick search reveals, yes, indeed. We did. All right, let's move on because we've talked about it.
It's getting cold in here. Let's get to summer.
Good news, bad news. All right, so Summer, which is the name of a company, not a stripper. Summer raises $9 million to make student loan assistance from employers a workplace benefit.
I kind of feel like Biden had help in this.
They just erased a bunch of $1 billion worth of debt. I'm like, dude, where's mine?
Did you say a bunch of billions?
A bunch of billion. I think it's 98. I think it was 98.
Yeah, it's like 9. It's like 7.8.
Dude, like I paid off my student loans. Where's my just give me a tax break. Anyhow, so you and I had the privilege of actually podcasting with Will Seeley about a month ago on the Use Case podcast.
Yeah.
It's a cool play. It's a benefit, and it's a benefit about helping people that need. It's not forgiveness, but it's helping them. It's financial wellness in that world.
What it is.
So I found this on alleywatch.com, so you can go there and put in Summer. And Will, fantastic person. Definitely listen to the Use Case podcast because he'll sell it. I mean, $9 million isn't a small amount of money.
No,
and he'll give you everything you need to know. So
yeah, he's one of those guys we spoke with. He's got a fantastic story from his parents to him to the whole bit. But he's smart.
Oh, wicked.
He's a smart guy. So
Yes.
yeah, and this is again, you're not forgiving debt and not paying off your
No,
loans. It's financial
no, just
wellness,
helping your employees.
and this is where my ageism is going to come in. He's a younger guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I mean, he is incredibly smart, and he took an experience that he had
Mm-hmm.
and has built a company with a mission to get it
Yeah.
done. And kudos to him. Kudos to him. I'm sure we'll
You
talk
know,
with him more and
it
more
never
and more.
came up. That's what was the funny thing is, like, as we were talking about, I don't think we ever talked about funding.
No,
We'll have to go back and look at the
yeah,
transcript, but I don't
I
think
don't
we
think,
ever mentioned
no,
funding.
mm-mm,
Just
no,
we just both fell in love with him because he's just smart and it's a good idea.
yeah,
So
yeah, and we got it right away. It's one of those cool projects. All right, Factorial, $80 million go-to-market investment from General Catalyst. So this is an SMB core HR solution
hmm
based in a place where they play a lot of football.
Barcelona.
Yeah. Do you like how I said
Okay.
football?
I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Football.
They play a lot of soccer out there, don't they?
it's a way to get shot. No,
Yeah.
I like to play. It's interesting as I looked into it as well. Is they just did a raise
Yeah.
in 22, and they raised I think it was 120 million,
Yeah.
whatever it was, right? And they have $100 million in the bank.
Yes. Cash.
So
Yes.
basically, what this is in my opinion, this is 80 million of we're going to make other people rich funds. So we don't really need the 80 million,
Mm-hmm.
but this is what you do to create wealth for other people.
Yeah.
Is you bring some other people before you go public or
Right.
whatever. But it's a unicorn, and
100%.
from what I gather, it's really good. It's like similar to I think what we would think of like Bamboo HR, where they
Mm-hmm.
do kind of a full suite
Right.
for the SMB, and so it's light. It's not an enterprise play, but it has enough of the stuff that you need and none of the stuff that you don't need. So I like that. And again, if we don't see them as much here in the States yet,
We probably will, I would
they
assume.
got $180 million.
Yeah.
So,
They'll be here. They'll be here.
yeah.
And I think it's notable to mention from their initial their initial raise, they went from say 70 customers at that time. They've grown to over 10,000 customers.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And that's not a long time.
I looked at their site in both English and Spanish. So I read it in English just to see or if I got it. And then I went back and looked at it in Spanish because that's obviously they're from Spain. So I looked at it in Spanish. I'm like, that's cool. I mean, first of all, I was
Did
fascinated
you actually
because
read it in Spanish?
oh yeah, well, as much as I could. But like on the contact page, they don't on the English side American on the I'll speak American. So
This is why I want to be in your head for a day.
that's what I do. I speak American every day. So, but like on their contact page for the English version, it doesn't have a corporate headquarters,
right?
Even though it has a U.S. number to call. Right when you go to the Spanish page, it has a corporate location, and it has a number and all that other stuff. But it's like it's just I don't know. It's just fascinating. Just going through. I mean, it's translated into more than just English and Spanish, of course, but because they're coming from Barcelona, I'm always fascinated. Alrighty, let me pitch you this one. So this is Verimark, reference checking platform. Verimark raises $3 billion in a pre-Series B round. So what that means is they've done an A, they've done probably friends and family, whatever, and then they've done an A or C, been an A, and then now they're doing a B, but it's not all fully funded yet, and they're releasing this out and saying, yeah, we got $3 million in a pre-Series B. Now Verimark, I know Verimark. So this is think of First Advantage, or I guess anyone that does background checks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any of our friends that do background checks, right? Think of this international. So they do global background checks, identification verification. And what's fascinating is I know one of their co-founders. So he created the Workplace Accelerator because he's in Singapore. He's a Brit, but he's in Singapore, and he wanted to kind of fund some HR plays, and so he created an accelerator. And he was running Verimark at the time, but Verimark was just kind of on its own, doing its bit, making money. And then he went out and did a Series A. I can't release the terms, but it was aggressive for the time. It was a really aggressive round. The valuation was very high, and they got it. They got the funding, and now they're just killing it. So again, you could do, like if you run a background check on somebody in Dallas, Texas, like you could do that 50 different ways. Like, okay, we can do that. You need to run that same background check on someone in Vietnam.
Different.
It's harder.
Yeah.
It's harder. You can still do it, but it's just harder. Anybody in that space, we've had Dan on from Accurate before.
Yeah.
Like, it's just harder when you get outside the four walls of the U.S. or even English-speaking countries.
Yeah.
Then you deal with privacy. You got all kinds of stuff to navigate. So it's good for them and good for Daniel.
Yeah. So a question on this is me wanting to learn.
Sure.
Why? Okay, there's a lot of background check companies
Right.
in this space. Why is this? Okay, why is Verimark different than Accurate, and why is Accurate different than Checker? I know they do slightly different things, but
no, they do. I'd say this is do really similar things. They could just do it in 186 countries.
Okay. So is that? I mean,
same check.
Yeah. So, but what is the real difference between each background check company?
Well, most of them have migrated into identity verification and then becoming a SaaS company. If they weren't already a SaaS company, becoming a SaaS company, because background checks started with private investigators. And it was a service.
Right.
You hired them to go look up, Teddy, and stuff like that. And if Teddy, where's a Teddy? The whole bit. You wanted to know everything before you hired somebody. So, that was a bit, and it was a service. When they started to kind of migrate a couple of years ago into employee monitoring, so when we probably did a background check for some company, that was pre-employment. So in pre-employment, we're going to Terry, where's Teddy, where's it, Terry? Okay, so we would look at that and then we'd either accept him in or not, but then we'd never check it again. Right.
Then they got into listening and.
Now that they're doing, all of them are doing, is they've created a SaaS model, business model, financial model that then does here. If you pay us $39.99, let's make it real simple with the math. $5 an employee a month. We're going to consistently once a month monitor them in the sense of we'll go and look at court records. We'll go and look at things that are available and with compliance. Obviously, they're not going to do anything illegal. So they're going to go and look at that, and then you'll know, because here's the risk: you didn't hire a murderer or a sex offender. They become a sex offender. They don't have to tell you that they're going through that. So it's one of those deals. You're dealing with risk. HR is dealing with constantly kind of managing risk reward, and so. They would tell you all the different things that are different. And Fama, one of our sponsors, they do some of this as well.
Sure.
They all do it a little bit differently. So there is some nuances to it. It's like car manufacturers. Okay. They have 4 tires, steering wheel. Yeah, we get it. But they all do it a little bit differently.
The infotainment's a little different. You want to hear
100%. With Verimark, theirs came to market and said, well, you're familiar with all the list of all the wonderful a lot of them are publicly traded now. Background check companies. We do that. We just do it in every country. Maybe not in the world, but we do it in a lot of different countries. So that's
more countries than you're going to hire in.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So I'll tell you, super fast, not funny story. You'll say funny. This is funny. You mentioned murderers. My brother-in-law is not a
Let's see where
murderer.
this goes.
He's
Yeah.
not a murderer, but he got called to jury duty, and he got
Right.
picked for the trial. This is just this week. Okay.
Okay.
So the woman killed her husband. Pizza shop. They own a pizza shop, nice pizza shop in the area. A couple years ago, she killed her husband, shot him, back of the head. Done. Left him in the pizza shop for a couple of days, then got him home. They were redoing the driveway, stuck him underneath the driveway, and rolled the new driveway over top of him.
I already like this person. I already like this. Because then every time you park the car, you're like,
It happens.
good
So
luck.
he never sat the trial. They held out. She pleaded it down to whatever.
Yeah.
But you mentioned murder. She's a great example.
Yeah.
She
Of
wasn't
someone you
when you hired her.
No,
But then
she was
she
a
put a
wonderful
bullet.
person.
She put a bullet in the back of his head.
In this
Buried him
episode of
under the driveway.
Snapped. Yeah.
All right, we got
My
one
wife-
more. Let's do it.
One left. JFF Ventures. So for you keeping track at home, that's jff.org, a 3-letter domain. So JFF Ventures is a cool venture to look at because what they do is they're at the intersection of education, workforce, and human potential. And they just raised the second fund. They had a first fund, I think it was $50 million. They raised a second fund, and they'll add to it at $15 million. But so it's HR tech, but it's also looking at other things that are connected to HR tech. So what happens in the workplace also happens in education. It also happens where people are left out in terms of human potential.
Right.
So it's really got really got a cool mission statement. It is a venture firm. They raise money and they deploy capital and they want a return on their capital. So this isn't they didn't philanthropic. However,
Right.
it's as close to philanthropic or at least mission based that I've seen in our space. So
Yeah.
go look at the fund, jff.org, and then look at what they funded. Look at their portfolio of what they funded, and I think you'll be fascinated. And follow the money. Like with all of these things, follow the money.
Well, I like following the money.
Show me the money, Jerry.
I'm taking the money.
Show me the money, Jerry.
This
Show
was
me
a
the money,
long one,
Jerry.
man. We talked about a lot. We had a lot this week.
Well, some of that, if you would maybe not cover some of the stories that we've.
You mean don't cover the ones we did last week and the week before and in January
I'm just saying that maybe you could listen. But
they
that's
were
okay.
so good
yeah.
that I just wanted to bring them back. All right, listen. Shut it. If you're still listening, and I hope you are,
or watching,
yeah. I think you said earlier you're watching and listening, or you said it the other day. I'm like, no,
I did.
I'm in the car. I'm probably not watching.
Maybe you're not in the car. You don't have to be in the car.
Subscribed everywhere. Follow us on social. See us out there in public. Say hello. And if you have sweatshirts, please send me one. I would love you forever. We'll see you next time.
Bye.